of red.
Why are you so judgmental all the time, bro?
I was just trying to help.
Is it me or are you bald?
Is that better, Justin?
Bald.
You're sexy bald, man.
It might be red because I was outside all day.
I didn't know if it was just the lighting.
Justin's a nitpicky guy. It's like when I gave him his hoodie, he's like examining it. He's like, oh, what's that dot there?
Right.
You know what's amazing though? Everyone at the festival was like, we want one of those hoodies. So now I have like 10, 15 people that want hoodies, and they're like, oh god, not this again. It's nice. They're nice.
I haven't worn it yet because I haven't had it.
It's been so hot. Those things are so heavy.
Yeah,
they're so heavy, bro.
And
I'm not mad about that, but I was a little disappointed that they were that heavy because I wanted to wear it this weekend. There's just no way. Like, you can't wear that in 65 degrees.
It's not hoodie weather.
No. Well, 65 degrees I feel like is, but that one's a bit heavy.
I'm a t-shirt guy in 65.
Sam, you don't think I am? I wear thongs. I wear thongs. Are we live?
Underneath clothing, right?
Of course. Of course. I want to get it. What was that? What was the pounding noise? Was that Doug?
How long's the beard, Doug?
Sorry.
Tell your wife she doesn't need to be sorry. She's awesome. She deals with you, so she must.
She's messing with the till money for Boy Scouts.
I know, but she's an angel if she has to deal with you. I dealt with you for 4 days, and I was like, I was ready to jump off the Empire State Building.
And he's still wearing the same Assurant t-shirt.
No, different number.
Different number. We did do a thing where dude, you know damn well I'm putting all my weight in a ball and cranking them out of Great American. I can still crush a ball. I don't think I can go dead center, but I could absolutely pull the ball for sure. And I've seen Doug hit.
You can hit it 400 yards.
100%. What do you mean? Can I? Absolutely. I just did it like last summer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
At a ballpark or like where are you hitting the stuff?
What's up, guys?
Great American Ballpark's the only one that's 396.
Hey, actually, we can go to I think it's Scene 75 in Dayton. They have a.
Why would we do that? We have a 380-foot fence right down the road from me. That's much more believable that a 450-pound man can hit a fucking bomb over you jumping a hurdle.
Is that the Carrot Ball field?
I think theirs is actually farther than Great American on left field. To be completely candid with you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mash that.
And I can absolutely smash one over that. That doesn't mean you're a good hitter. We're talking about throwing up balls that I can crush.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about fucking 87-mile-an-hour curve balls.
All right, Sturge, we got 6 people in here.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. There it is. My bad. Welcome to Cheesy Ponies. I'm Big Sturge. Over on the other side of the studio, we have Justice League.
How's it going, guys?
Justin Marlin, the one man that critiques everything, but he's here in studio.
True
Late as fuck. And as always, we've got Douglas, who's not in studio. Fact.
What's up?
He just kind of comes in here whenever he wants. But anyways, guys, sit back. We're going to talk about some fantasy football. I know you're wondering it. I went 0 for 5 this week, and I'm very disappointed, so I can't wait to talk about it. Oh, it hurts. So grab a protein shake, a beer, a whiskey, a water, whatever it is you sip on, including Sprite Zeros. Sit back, relax, and let's have a good time at Cheesy Pony Studio. All right, boys, we're here. I know I did. That's the new intro. Did anybody like it?
I did.
I thought it was that's the first episode. That's like the first intro I've done that's been different in a long time. I was kind of like ready for Justin because he's a drummer, really good one at that. And I did that on my keyboard.
Dude, it sounded good. I was just giving a
nasty.
nasty.
You know how hard it was to go like this with a double bass pedal? KJ.
I was just giving a nasty look to Jason Davis because he said, "What up, fellas? Glad to see you recovered." First off, Jason,
took me 4 days.
We were drinking the entire time.
I'm not gonna lie.
We were Monday.
Let's talk about that for a second. Justin, do you mind if we hit on American whiskeys this past weekend real fast? Just a quick one because we got a lot of listeners right now that are part of that.
Yeah, bro.
So we did the Farm to Bottle Festival this weekend. That would have been Doug and Justice League and myself. We had a good time. We represented American whiskey well. We raised over $1,700 for Larkin, who's a 4-year-old boy in our community. Justin knows him. I mean, Justin's not part of American whiskey, but he is. I mean, he's a brother to me. I've known Justin so long. He knows the family. Even we played them, I think, a week or two ago, and they were all wearing orange. I mean, everyone's rooting for this little boy in the family. We raised $1,700 at a silent auction. But on top of that, the boys drank a lot. I think Doug brought a case. I think we counted it. I think like 9 or 10 cases in 4 days.
I mean, we went through that one on Wednesday night.
Literally. And what's crazy, that's what I was going to say, a bottle of tequila. Doug and I were like, our wives are like, what are you guys doing that night? Like, we're doing nothing. We sat there and did absolutely nothing.
Well, Friday.
Justin, you would have loved it. We did absolutely nothing.
Camper, right?
Yeah.
How did the camper end up working out?
It was amazing.
Okay.
Like, I think Friday, Doug bought the first case. I bought 2 cases after that, plus the Hulk Hogan beers. Austin brought 2 cases.
You're forgetting the 4 that I bought, bud.
I don't remember.
Clearly.
No, I'm trying to remember who all was buying cases.
Dude, there was like every time I walked down, and then Taylor's like, "Oh, I got that," and then Vince was like, "I got that one." I'm like, "Oh God, how many beers we drink?" I woke so Monday morning at work, I was just like randomly falling asleep. I was like, maybe I'm just dying. I don't know. I should text Justin and be like, "I love you, buddy. We've been friends for a long time." So I'll let you know I drank way too much this weekend. I mean, hell, we got Master Distiller Sean Rigsby in here. It's a cheesy pony episode. I'm surprised to see him here, but I'm going to say it. He passed out in a chair at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and fell asleep, boys.
Yeah.
At one point, I was sitting over there where we record. I think I fell asleep in my chair.
On Saturday morning.
I fell asleep.
Doug disappeared to the camper.
Yep.
You fell asleep in the chair.
Shay Gordon said they need to rename the Farm to Bottle to Liver Olympics for sure.
He'd win.
So switching subjects here, guys. You're here for fantasy football. Cheesy Ponies is bringing you everything. I'm not going to start it out here. I don't know who's going to start out. Doug, Justin, somebody, because I went over 5, and I don't think anyone should listen to a thing that I say. So disappointed.
Well, Doug brought up a few topics. So, Doug, you can start it off on this and give Justin time to think and Sturge time to think.
Yeah.
Surprise performers for the week.
All right, I'll go first, and I think it's probably obvious for everyone who watches football, but the Red Rocket made it back, and he had a day. Red Rifle, excuse me.
Red Rocket.
Shut the hell up and let him talk.
But he had a day. I think the only person to throw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns this year. So yeah, he had a great day.
Yeah, I forget what Dak ended up throwing.
Justin, you need a second for yours?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Carson Steele. I don't remember how many carries he had, but he was involved. I think he had 16, 17 carries, did he not?
Wouldn't surprise me. He seemed like he was going to be pretty heavily involved.
And everyone makes fun of me. What is it? Pacheco. Thank you. So, I think, they just picked up Kareem Hunt. I think it was. So you might see a drop off, but I thought I was kind of impressed. He had a lot of goal line opportunities there. Some of them were called back, but that's my pick.
I would go with Chuba Hubbard. 21 carries for 114 yards, 5 receptions, 55 yards, and a touchdown, 27.9 fantasy points.
He did do well.
And I snuck him in my flex spot.
He did 17 carries, 72 yards for mine. Just
hey,
because I didn't.
How many receptions? Any?
5, right?
Yeah, Justin, do you know how many Steele had? I don't know, 1 maybe. I think I saw him have 1.
Steele had 1, yeah.
Yeah.
So even then, first time getting a start, not bad numbers.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, if you haven't picked a guy, there's another person on the same team that had a really good day too.
Oh, well, I was going to say, how about Amari Cooper finally showing up?
I knew you. I had a feeling he would say that because that's a good one. He had a big day.
Receiving yards, 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still think Deshaun Watson's a terrible quarterback, but it was nice to see Amari.
I'm surprised you didn't. I actually kind of thought Justin would say Bucky.
Bucky looked good too.
He had 9 carries for like almost 70 something yards.
I mean, I think he's a guy. If he's still on your waivers, he's definitely worth at least adding to your bench because I think he looks better than Rashad White.
I think
it's not going to be long before he probably takes over the majority of carries in that back.
I don't think I could agree more, but I got to go over the Broncos because we're talking about that game there. And what about Tyler Batty?
Yeah,
or Beatty, whatever it is.
He said apparently it's Bidet this year. He's going by Tyler Bidet.
Is it Bidet?
He went by Beatty.
He wants to clean his ass,
I guess.
So, but 9 carries, 70 yards. I mean, he is so shifty, bro. It's ridiculous. He could be a really good back.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that field. I mean, honestly, we've had Tyler Beatty for a few years. He's not new.
No, he's not. He's young. He's still a young guy.
He's the guy that we've kind of always kept around as a probably third or fourth back, and probably bounced on and off the practice squad. I don't know what to make of our backfield. I mean, I felt like Javonte looked decent, and then he had that fumble, and then it's like after that, they just benched him and ran everybody else. So I don't. Week to week, I mean, I was glad to see the Broncos' offense actually look like an offense and get that win, but
it was good to see Cortland get some throws.
But
Cortland's been heavily targeted, man.
Yeah, he has.
On that, Justin, I think that's a Sean Payton type of mentality as a coach. He's always punished a player for fumbling and make him sit,
which sucks for fantasy.
It does.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Anyone want to touch this question here?
What is it?
On the screen.
Go ahead.
For Chicago, who you taking, Odunze or Keenan Allen coming back from injury?
Man.
What was Allen's injury again?
It's his heel.
I'm going to Dunze because a heel is so much easy to re-aggravate. I would rather go with a player that's going to be healthy.
I'd say Keenan, man.
Well, see, I'm going to Dunze too. I guess Odunze was someone that Caleb Williams begged the Bears to draft this season. I mean, they both went in the first round. I'm sorry. Yeah, they both went in the first round. Odunze was a guy that Caleb wanted, and Caleb has kind of developed that connection with Odunze in training camp and preseason. So I think for Odunze, it was only a matter of time before he showed up. And that connect, I think that was he 10 for 11 this week with over 100 yards. Like Odunze went receptions. Off. Okay.
For 112 and a touchdown, though. So
okay,
I mean, hey, that's good chemistry.
He did have 11 targets. You're right on that.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
The only thing that scares me with Keenan, like I like Keenan here, but like people got to realize he's not young.
Well,
he's like
he's not
years old. But with that being said, I also think he's kind of slightly unused.
I mean, you got to think. So the very first game, he had 11 targets.
Yeah,
Keenan I don't know. I would say unused. Honestly, when he was with the Chargers, he was someone you wanted on fantasy because he was a consistent target getter. I mean, he was getting.
I guess I mean when I say like unused, I'm saying like he wasn't pounded on. He wasn't that guy taking crazy ass hits. You know what I mean? I just at 32 years old, I still think he has a lot in the tank. Is what I'm saying.
I think the Bears are hard right now, anyways, because that offensive line is atrocious.
But hey, their quarterback finally put up a bunch of yards.
Did
finally.
You see the?
He didn't play good, but
did you see the play in the red zone where Caleb decided he didn't want to get sacked, so he threw the ball to DeAndre Swift, who got freaking demolished?
Yep, I did see that. You're going to get that, dude. Like, you can't put your receivers in that situation because they want to make a play and they're going to get killed.
But I guess my point is that the offensive line is so bad that I think that's going to hinder Caleb Williams and that offense all year. If you don't have time to throw, it's hard to get your receivers the ball.
Yeah.
And I haven't really paid attention to how the receivers have been utilized, but I mean, that could basically tell you who you want to play. I mean, DJ Moore on the offense has not had great fantasy weeks this year.
Agree.
But I feel like DJ Moore is one of those guys that can take a screen pass for 80 yards. So it's hard.
He hasn't yet.
But it's hard to sit someone like that.
Which
brings up another thing that Doug wanted to talk about. Or was it you, Justin, that said, what do you do with Waddle and Hill?
That was me. Yeah, I mean, at this point, like I guess I kind of assumed that we would know by now whether Tua was coming back and when. And at this point, we don't know if he's coming back. When he's coming back, I think he's supposed to see a neurologist sometime soon. But I mean, I have Tyreek in a league, and you have to play him. But at the same time, like you know that he's not going to do much likely because he has no quarterback.
It breaks my heart. I have Tyreek in everyone but sleeper league.
Now they did
Kills me.
They brought in Tyler Huntley this week, who has played well in reserve for the Ravens. So I'm hoping that maybe Tyler Huntley can make something of those Dolphins weapons and bring them back to fantasy relevance. But I'm concerned right now. I mean, would you consider trading? Like trying to pursue a trade to trade away?
I think you can really, because people.
Waddle.
I think if you throw Tyreek in a package, you could probably get something like 1+1. Like you could get one because of the name. Like people are going to see Tyreek,
right?
And let's be honest, Tyreek could next week he could go for 130 yards. We don't know,
right?
We just don't know. But I think like to what your question is, Justin. What do you do with him? Like, I think you trade him if you can to try to get that 1+1. I don't know what you call that, but a 2-for-1 deal to see if you, especially in my situation, guys, I got my ass smacked in 4 of my leagues, my ass annihilated, and Hill is in 4 of my 5 leagues.
Right.
So, do you think that you could get the Malik Neighbors owner to trade away Malik for Tyreek?
That's
now that you say that, I might try. I mean, I like that.
It all depends on your situation too, because like Sturge is saying here, he drafted Tyreek high, thinking he was going to be number 1 with Tua. Yeah. I'm in the opposite spectrum here. I drafted Waddle a little later. I went and got Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. I just picked up Juwan Jennings, so I think I can weather that storm and wait to see if Tua comes back for Waddle.
I think you only named 2 decent receivers there. I mean, you said Devontae Adams. I mean,
Mike Evans.
I like Mike Evans, but Devontae's nothing. I mean, he's got Minshew right now
this year. I mean,
he's got to have a quarterback.
But he
had a great week last week.
He did,
and he hasn't had terrible weeks. He's just not. I mean, it depends on what your expectations
right
are.
But the next few weeks, while Deebo Samuel's on the IR, Juwan Jennings is going to get all of his targets, and it showed. Kittle's been playing hurt, so I can plug and play Juwan Jennings. So I feel
you're going to see Ayuk going up on attempts as well,
right? But I feel like I can weather that storm with those 3 guys. Just plug and play wherever I need them.
Yeah,
I'm surprised no one said Juwan Jennings for a surprise of the week.
Did we do a surprise of the week?
Yeah. I was going to, but I like Chuba.
I like Chuba.
I call him Chuba.
So anyone want to touch on the question there?
Say that again.
Anyone want to touch on the question from Burnout?
I'm gonna have to look at who.
Yeah. So Burnout said, "Who will be undefeated still after this week?"
I've got my
question.
I gotta see who's even undefeated.
I think the Lions will beat the Seahawks.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think the Ravens.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think the Ravens will beat the Bills at home. I think the Chiefs will beat the Chargers, so they'll be undefeated. I do think the Steelers will beat
you're right, dude. I think you're completely wrong.
But then I think the Packers and Vikings is going to be a really good game.
Who's playing quarterback?
From what I read, is Jordan Love's practicing.
Jeremy. So I think I could see the Ravens upsetting the Bills, so that wouldn't be a lock for me on the Bills. I think the Chiefs definitely beat the Chargers because it sounds like Herbert probably won't even play this week. So I think the Chargers are going to be an L. And then I would probably say Steelers Chiefs because the Colts defense hasn't looked great and Anthony Richardson can't pass the ball. Period.
Who do the Seahawks play?
The Lions at home.
See, the Lions are a good team.
Yeah. So you guys are sleeping on Easton Stick then is what I'm getting, right?
Yeah,
sleeping.
You don't believe in Easton Stick.
I do.
No, he's done it before, and this isn't his first time around.
But you know what?
I didn't say it was.
I will say this, and I love that Sturge brought that up because I think he's had great weeks already, but I think this week is going to be the J.K. Dobbins showcase show.
So I will say the only thing that gives the Chargers a chance is the fact that Jim Harbaugh is all about good defense and run game, and they have that. So, I mean, if they win the game, it's not going to be Easton Stick. It's going to be that defensive run game.
But to be fair, you also said that Justin Fields didn't have a chance. He's doing well. I think if you look at what Easton Stick did in college.
Easton Stick has been with the Chargers. He started games for the Chargers. He has
How many? Okay, let me ask you this: how many games does he have under his belt?
I'll have to look
4.
it up for you.
4.
I see he started 4 games.
He started 4 games.
How many did he win?
I don't know how many he won. Probably none. But my question is, huh?
That's all I need to know.
You also said that about Malik Willis. He went 0 for 3 in Tennessee. You said he was an absolute garbage.
I did say that.
I mean, in 2023, Easton Stick had a 91.4 QBR.
He's not a bad. He's really not a bad. He's not as bad as the way that you're making it seem that he is.
You have to remember that the Chiefs also have the refs on their side. So, I mean, the refs are going to make.
But when you throw 3 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, that's not bad. When you throw a 79-yard bomb, that's not bad. When you have an 85.6 rating, that's not bad. So I think he's being slept on. That's just what my opinion is. You could be right, though, for sure, Justin. I mean, but I think I see a Chargers win.
Okay.
I mean, I don't hate his yardage. He has 6 games and 1,133 yards.
What do you think, Doug?
I don't know. I have a hard time seeing the Chiefs losing to that team. But
we're also looking at a Patrick Mahomes that's not been what he is.
And he has had to be.
That happened the same thing happened.
And to be honest, if you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, I think he's one of those players you could trade for a 2-for-1 deal. But that's
definitely.
Steelers to continue being undefeated.
I like it.
I agree.
Right underneath Justin Fields.
So Jeremy, Jeremy's comment here. I can't wait to see Andy Dalton come in and beat the Bengals.
I did want to talk about that.
Andy straight murdered though, but I wasn't surprised. I've always been on the train of Andy.
Hey, he was my surprise player of the week.
They play this week.
Are we overreacting though to last week because the Panthers did play the Raiders?
Let me ask you this: how many 300 games does Andy Dalton have?
A bunch.
Yeah. Why would it? Why is that an overhype?
I'm just saying it's one game. They played the Raiders, who are not a great team.
Are we good, Shay?
I think they have a decent defense.
Yeah, we're back.
Raiders have a decent defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like there were a lot of players making business decisions, though, per Antonio Pierce's post-game conference.
Regardless, Andy Dalton threw up. Straight threw the fuck out of the Big Ten.
That offense killed it. Deontay Johnson slayed in fantasy.
That was cool to see.
Slayed in fantasy. Dalton slayed in fantasy. Like that. The Panthers, they came and played last week.
Chubba.
I think my one concern about the Bengals is that defense.
Yeah.
That defense,
ferocious.
Every game this year has just been a sieve to points.
I mean, if you're Burrow, he had a great game.
Right.
He had a great game.
I think part of the problem with the Bengals too, I've noticed, is they give up a lot of big plays, and I noticed a lot of missed tackles.
It's almost like watching a college defense. You know, there's always going to be a big play coming up.
Yeah.
But can you give props to Jaden Daniels?
I'm not taking anything away from him. I mean,
Jaden Daniels winning the Rookie of the Year.
The
91.3% throwing.
Do you remember when we were?
Yards,
do you remember?
Touchdowns?
But we're also sleeping on some of the other rookies. Okay, I think that's a whole nother topic, as like the rookie alert, because I said Bo Nix was my number 1, and Jaden Daniels was my number 2. So I'm not surprised. But what I will say, watch out for Bo Nix. He looked more comfortable this week. They let him take shots this week.
We actually called decent plays.
But they let him take shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He looked comfortable.
He did.
He looked good. The difference between the two teams, between the Commanders and the Broncos, Commanders let Jaden do his thing. Yep. They have not let Bo Nix do his fucking thing yet.
Oh, 100%.
And you haven't even seen everything from Bo Nix yet. That's the funny thing to me.
No, and I agree with you.
So
and
much of a better quarterback than Jaden Daniels. I'm sorry.
The difference is here, week 1, Jaden Daniels threw the ball 24 times and ran 16. That was a rookie quarterback that you said, hey, we're unleashing you week 1.
And they did. And that's where the separation between the Broncos and the Commanders are. They fucked up by not letting Bo Nix do his thing. That's what makes him. his big game plays. Like right, those times where you need him to make a throw. He's the guy, but they didn't let him do it.
Did you know after Tyler Beatty with 70 rushing yards, Bo Nix was the second leading rusher on our team, 47?
If it tells you anything, I thought he was the leading rusher until I saw that Tyler Beatty was the leading rusher.
Yeah.
Of last week. That just to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I knew Tyler Beatty did really good, but I thought he had some big runs, dude. Bo Nix had some big third down runs.
Yeah, he
kept the ball alive.
He's got legs, man.
He does. He's an athletic freak. He reminds me of a smarter Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
A person that could do really well in the league if he stays grounded and the team puts trust in him. You don't name him the captain and then limit him.
Right.
No.
The first 2 weeks, I think that was what was most
fucking
frustrating.
stupid.
The first 2 weeks, I'm like, Sean, what are you doing? Like,
Did you call him?
You should, man. I wish.
Do you say, hey, Sean, listen?
Right.
Listen to me, Sean.
Preseason, like I realize it's preseason, vanilla defenses, but like to me, the play calls that we were giving Bo to execute looked better than the first 2 weeks.
I agree.
Season and the preseason. So I'm like, where'd all those play calls go? Like, I get the defense, but come on, like give me some effort here. So it was nice to see them call a good offense, be aggressive early, and I think that the whole team benefited from that. The defense has been playing lights out this year. I mean, I think we're like a top 5 defense in a lot of stats to start the year with the first 3 games. I'm nervous about this coming week against the Jets. And then we go, I think, back home to play the Raiders and Chargers, which I feel better about. But
so Justin and Doug, this is a question I have for you guys because I'm thinking about it right now. Would you add Sam Darnold and drop Justin Herbert?
Hell yeah. I don't want Justin Herbert in fantasy this year. The things I've seen from that offense, I just feel like they're going to be a run-heavy offense. They're not going to pass too much. I mean, I think we said they had, 30-some touches between the two backs. I mean, you're just not going to get a lot of opportunities from Herbert, and I think he's going to be inconsistent when he is healthy.
I mean, no, Dylan, you definitely don't want to do that. Since I seen you just do it and it came up in my league.
I was already clicking on it.
But no, I agree though. Darnold's got the better options. He's got Aaron Jones over there. He's got Justin Jefferson. When Addison comes back and Hawkinson comes back, he's going to be set up for even more success than he's already having. So
I didn't target Jefferson early in fantasy drafts this year because I wasn't sure how Darnold was going to look, and I didn't want to take an early pick on Jefferson just for Darnold to make him look like trash.
Right.
So I missed out on that, and I think the people who went with Jefferson are seeing the benefits of that choice.
Yeah.
But no, I think Darnold just looks comfortable in that Kevin McConnell offense, and the Vikings look good. I mean, I said a minute ago, like the Vikings are playing the Packers this week. I'm picking the Packers to win, and I think the Packers have a fantastic defense. I picked up the Packers defense in most of my fantasy leagues because they're killing it this year.
So it's like, you say that, and you talk about defense, but then you look at the Vikings defense, and I'm pretty sure they're ranked number 1. So
yeah, they're killing it.
So it's going to be great. It's going to be a great game, I think.
Just take this to the bank. Take $150, put it straight towards Packers win. That's
so do you think it goes over or under 43.5?
Here's what I think. I think Malik Willis is part of the package, even though Love starts. That's what I think. I think you'll see him in some packages.
You think Love will start this week?
Oh, yeah, 100%. But I think you'll see Malik Willis in some packages. I really do. I mean, they cram coursed him, and he looked like a veteran out there. But I say 43.5 over.
You think it's over with both their defenses playing the way they're playing?
I do, man. I really do. You're looking at a defensive game, but are you surprised if Darnold throws over 300 yards? I'm not. Are you surprised if Jordan Love puts 25 on the ground and 250 in the air? I'm not. Like, no.
I mean, both these defenses have been great, but to the same point, the offenses of both these teams have been rolling. I mean,
you're right.
I think
but I'm
put up over 30 points every week, right?
I'm sold on the fact, yes, but I'm sold on the fact that defenses are the name of the game. So if the defense is good, defenses are good, I think that's better than the offense being good. Does that make sense?
It does.
So then that would lean to a low scoring game. Because you're saying the defense overtakes.
Yeah, but Sam Darnold and Jefferson, then you've got like 14 different receivers on the Packers. I don't know. Maybe I'm contradicting myself. I say over. I don't think it's a high scoring game.
Where's the game at?
You say 43.5. That means they're going to score over 43.5, right?
If you take the over, yeah.
Yeah, I still think that.
I agree with Sturge here, but
it's at
think
Lambeau.
the
It's at home.
Packers players that have been there for a couple years are going to have a statement game for Aaron Jones. They're going to want to shut him down because he said, "I can't wait to Lambeau lead."
You think I could,
That's a big jump,
brother?
Yeah.
I don't think I could.
I mean, that's jumping up on that wall.
Hey guys, I just want everybody not to get mad here for a second. They left the garage light on. I'm going to scream at them for just a hot second.
You want to mute it for a hot second?
I think the Titans have one of the better
Did you guys hear me yell on here? So
No, I muted it on here too.
I muted everybody, so I'm so sorry.
Too. Cool.
Hey, Christopher. Wow, what's up, Chris? He's great. He's amazing. Sorry, Justin, I still love you. Go ahead.
It's all right. I was just gonna say, I thought the Titans had a good defense this year, and the Packers put up 30 on them. So,
but does that mean they don't have a good defense, or
no? It means the Packers. I mean, plus that the Packers had some defensive scoring because Will Levis is poo water.
He is shitty. Can we be honest?
He is.
He's not good.
And Xavier McKinney's going to get.
If you're Tennessee, are you not on the horn with Tannehill right now? How could you not be?
How about anyone want Zach Wilson?
I said Zach Wilson could be a trade target for somebody.
Dolphins, maybe.
Ooh, that's a. I never thought of that.
You put a mobile quarterback.
Justin with the peanut speed? Fucking light bulb.
Holy shit!
That's a good one, Justin. That's a good one.
Get him on the horn. Call him up, Justin.
You need to call him. That's a good one.
I mean, Tyreek would be relevant again, right?
Yeah, because you have a mobile quarterback they have to worry about. You have a chain.
What about
Tyreek
Malik
Waddle?
What about Malik?
We're not giving up Malik yet.
I don't think so. I think we keep him as a backup.
I could see them moving.
You can get DTR from the Browns.
Can I ask you a fancy question? Or are we on a topic?
Go for it.
A sneaky pickup for your whether you have to trade for. I guess how about a guy like me who's 0 for 5 this week? I'm 0 for 5, boys. Justin's league, I'm doing pretty good. I lost by a smidge. But what would be a trade to up your team? Like that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking at other teams. I'm trying to I've got Hill in almost all of my leagues. I've got
which league are you looking at?
All of them. I lost all of them.
I mean, I think you have to look at what positions you're weak in.
It doesn't matter. I've lost in them all. I've got Tyreek in most of them. I've got I'm blanking San Francisco's running back who's hurt.
McCaffrey.
Thank you, McCaffrey. So, what are some trades for somebody in my situation that they can make? What are some sneaky trades, I guess?
Well, I mean, you can still trade McCaffrey. People
might sleep on them.
I want wins right now. Or do I sit back and I still have Brooks on IR on some of my leagues? I've got, what are some sneaky trades that you could make? And I think Hill's one of those. I think you could do a 2-for-1 trade for Hill. People are still going to, jump for him. But what is something for somebody in that they're freaking out? Right, they don't know what to do. They're 0 for 3, 0 for 4, whatever. What can they do?
Honestly,
before you answer, Dylan, I got to dip out. I'll catch you all later.
Yeah, but we love you.
See you, dog.
Have a good rest of the
podcast. But we love you, bro.
I love you. I love you. Bye.
So, Sturge, I know some people might not like this pick, but you're wanting consistency. He's getting the target share, and he's starting to get better as the weeks go on. I think you could do a 1-for-1 trade Tyreek, especially if we don't know how much or how long Tua is going to be out, straight up for Devontae Adams. I wouldn't mind it.
I'd want more with Devontae.
Yeah, I'd want more. I'd want my Hill +1 with Devontae.
I don't think Devontae's been consistent enough yet to warrant a straight up.
He doesn't have a quarterback yet. I think Justin, could you agree with me? Minshew's not the guy.
I mean, Minshew has. I have Devontae in a lot of my leagues, and he's not been terrible. He's been serviceable every week, and then he had one boom week in week.
I'm not
2.
giving up Hill for Devontae. I gotta have enough.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's someone you can target. I was saying I would consider doing 1-for-1, but you can ask for more.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Let's make the trade.
I still think I would go see if you could get Neighbors for Tyreek. See how much.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna be busy tonight. I'll be
Neighbors
busy
rest of the
tonight.
season could be better than Hill, even if Hill has a quarterback.
And anybody that's listening, do not do dynasty leagues.
I love it.
That's my biggest suggestion
it's
for
fun.
you. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Dynasty's fun.
I'm
It
having
is.
a miserable time.
We'll
I
make-
looked at it. I'm dead last in everything. Every single thing.
Yeah, Sturge. But the problem is with you saying let's do it, you'd want a 2-for-1. I would only do it 1-for-1.
There's no way. That's stupid. Because when it comes, here's the thing: you got these people in every league that only want to do a trade that benefits themselves. You cannot do that. You cannot make trades.
We're throwing an unquestionable of if Tua's even going to play this year. If he doesn't, Tyreek's
doesn't
played like
matter.
shit.
Nobody makes that trade, then, bro.
I
Like
think
you make the shittiest trades. You do.
Not really.
the
You do.
Dolphins have. So
There's
many
not a lot of
weapons.
people out there that make trades with you.
All right, let's go back to fantasy.
I've already made 2 this year.
I think the Dolphins have so many weapons and so much potential that I don't see them just sitting on crappy quarterbacks the rest of the year. I think that they're waiting to see what's going to happen with Tua. If Tua is not going to come back and play,
He's coming back.
I think they pursue before the trade deadline some type of quarterback
Yeah.
that will be serviceable rest of the season. So I think that Tyreek will have value again. It's just we're going to have to wait until they get that quarterback, whether it's Tua coming back or whether it's the quarterback that they trade for.
Zach Wilson,
Sure. I mean, what if they could get
Ryan
Zach Wilson?
Tannehill,
What if they give up a 4th pick and get Zach Wilson?
Brett Favre.
You saw he had Parkinson.
I did. I sent to you
That's
guys.
right,
Nobody
you did.
responded. I was fine with it.
I think I was busy when you sent it, but I saw it and I was like, that's sad.
Yeah. That's sad. That's sad. That shows you what Tua's got a big decision ahead of him.
I said it after we saw the hit. I don't think he plays again this year. He wants to, but
I'm not worried about this year. People are saying he'll never play again. I don't see that
I could see him coming back next year.
for sure.
But
Tua's done too many big. Well, it doesn't matter, Shay.
it's all him.
It's on him. I
Yeah.
mean, do you know how many, like, we're talking about a man, Brett Favre, 54 years old, diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. No one stopped him from, he said he has upward of thousands of concussions.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has the ability to tell Tua that he can't play football. I think
No.
it's legitimately up to him, and the only power people have is to influence him to make the right choice.
And I think if he plays again, he has to start protecting himself.
For sure.
Look at that last concussion. He lowered his shoulders. He lowered his head down. He tried to make a play. He can't do that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, and it's hard to argue that he should have done differently because I think in the moment when it's bang, bang, I mean, I do think he needs to reset for his first thought to always be slide. But I mean, he was trying to go get that touchdown.
And I
that
think
first down
Fred
for his
makes a
team.
good decision or a good idea. Make him wear a
Yeah.
Guardians hat. I think everybody should have to. I've decided that. I don't think I'd play football if I had to wear it though.
I think 100% that he
So
should wear a
ugly.
Guardian cap if he comes back and plays.
Now, what is there any? Do we have any? Maybe we can do a Guardians episode, but is there any scientific proof that helps?
Well, this is the first year of allowing them in games. Didn't they have them in
Practice for years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And the preseason, I
until
think they had to wear them too, right?
they didn't have to, but they could.
Okay.
This year it's still going to be too small of a sample size because there's only a handful of guys wearing them.
Right.
Maybe like 2 or 3.
There's a
per
couple.
team.
It was like the one dude from the Steelers wore it, and the next thing you know, the next week a couple more.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
It would have to be like a Tua wear it.
I played football in high school, and I'm telling you, there was times where I got hit so hard I don't even remember where I was. That's not good.
No.
Can you imagine being in the NFL or college playing football? How many times do these guys get up and they're like, oh, fuck, where am I at? And you don't even know they think that. Brett Favre said people come to huddle like, hey, we're in Minnesota, bud. Like, let's make this happen. Doesn't mean you can't make decisions from there on out.
Right.
But, like, you have to prevent these guys. They're athletes. They're, I consider athletes as warriors. That's what you fucking do. You get out on the field, you show your toughness, and we have to kind of help them make those decisions now because we're realizing now the effects of concussions.
Well, Sturge, we know
Right?
this more than a lot of people just from being Packers fans. I know Justin does from being a football fan. It wasn't widely publicized back then because you didn't have the TVs on the sidelines like you have now. You don't have all this crap. But remember what Favre said on his long streak of starting games. How many pills was he taking before a game?
Well, he was addicted to painkillers.
Because that's what he had to do to play.
Well, back in the day, they were telling you to suck it up. Like,
right. That's where I'm at with
back
you.
in the game, you were weak.
Right.
They
You
give
broke
you
a finger, you taped it up, you went back out. You pulled, you pulled a hamstring, you limped around and made plays. But the same difference is you got in the huddle and you're like, Coach, I got hit, and like I don't even remember shit. Well, you just got your dome ringed a bit. You're fine. You can't do that anymore. Dude, it's crazy to see like Tua make those gestures with his hands. It's hard to watch that.
Right.
You cannot tell me that his brain is not going to be affected later in life from that.
Oh, I have a sneaky suspicion, and I would put money on it. He already has CTE.
You don't know that. I mean, we don't have enough scientific, but he's got some type of brain damage for sure. But
would it surprise you?
But how many players look at back in the fucking day when they wore leather as helmets? I want to go back into like how many of those guys ended up with Parkinson's and all these diseases. Like,
Football has changed though. I mean, the athletes are bigger now. They're faster now,
bro.
I mean,
do you remember who O.J. Simpson was?
The way football's played.
Yeah.
There was no bigger running back than O.J. Simpson back then. That fucking dude, Jerome Bettis.
Yeah.
Like there were so much bigger running backs back then that would absolutely annihilate people. What's causing CTE now? Is it the helmets that are causing it? You got to think you're adding this much more room to the hit to the ground.
Yeah.
Before they had pads on, leather helmet, and they would go back like this, and maybe, they did like a lot of people. Like I've seen a study where helmets cause concussions. I don't know if that's true. It was just a YouTube thing.
Well,
but they see the impact to the ground. It's a lot closer to the ground. Maybe that impact plays a difference to the concussions.
People try to bring up rugby a lot, and you can't compare the two.
How not?
Because there are hard hits in rugby, but they're not running at each other full speed.
Are you fucking kidding me? You should watch rugby.
I have, and a lot of their tackles are just small tackles.
But some of those tackles are blow ups, bro.
Some of them, but not as many as in a football game.
I disagree.
Do you guys want to get back to fantasy?
That's fine.
Before we wrap it up.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I just think it's a good topic to talk about.
Do you guys have any tips or tricks for whether it's maybe streaming positions or how to pick players? I think it was last week we talked about how to play like Thursday night players in your actual positions and using your flex for players later in the week to prevent the injury. Maybe that was 2 weeks ago.
Well, I mean, are you talking about like I played Malik at my second flex in sleeper?
Well, that's different. I mean, that's a super flex.
Yeah.
Like in standard leagues, you wouldn't have that. But I guess one tip I guess maybe I have is for people who are using or still have kickers in their leagues. When I usually look for a kicker, if I'm streaming kickers, I look for teams that can consistently move the ball into scoring range, but not necessarily have the ability to punch it in, because then that's going to lead to more field goals. Like the Cowboys this year, Brandon Aubrey is the top kicker.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys are great at
He's kicked a 65-yarder, right?
For one, he has immense talent, can kick a freaking bomb.
Right.
but
It's just not normal.
right. But even still beyond that, like he's getting the Cowboys are driving close enough every time
Yeah.
they have the ball to get
Yeah.
within field goal range, and then when they can't punch it in, he's kicking field goals. So I don't know how many he had this past week. I think maybe only 2 or 3, but the first 2 weeks he had 4 field goals.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess if you're looking at kickers and streaming kickers, just something to consider is teams that you have to look at the matchup too, because maybe play good defense.
So you're talking about tips and tricks.
Sure.
So that's what I struggle with, Justin.
Okay.
So like I'm too much into the regular football mindset. So like, which means I pick a lot of upsets. Justin, you both can say I pick a lot of upsets, but that doesn't make me a good fantasy winner, right? I mean, just because you can have a team that wins, like they don't necessarily put up big fantasy numbers,
Right.
And so that's what I can't answer Justin's question because I'm not good at the
We're buzzing again.
I don't hear it. Yeah, you would hear.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not buzzing. So that's a good question, Justin, but I can't answer it because I don't know the tricks. Like right now, I'm struggling in fantasy. I'm having a really tough time. And I think a lot of the losses I've gotten has come down to like their kickers getting more kicks than mine.
Right.
And
You're
it's
losing
so
by a few.
fucking frustrating. Like I pick a good defense, and out of nowhere, the Jags defense, who's terrible, beats my team.
That's all matchup based, which I guess that kind of goes to Chris Salmon's question. And I guess are you talking about best defense just in real life right now, or are you talking about best fantasy defense right now?
I say if you go fantasy, Packers got to be up there. I think Denver's probably top 10. But even then, I lost 2 teams this week. I've got like shutout wins, and I've lost either to a kicker or a defense.
Yeah.
What is the trick there, Justin? What is the trick there, brother? Because
on the kickers, or
just in general, what do you do day in and day out on your like? People got to realize your kickers and your defense does make a difference, but what you have to understand is who are they playing?
Right, for sure, yeah.
And that's my biggest struggle is realizing you have to judge. Like if you have a kicker, you want somebody that's going to kick a lot, right? You don't want to play somebody that's going to just score a lot where they're kicking extra points.
Right.
You want guys like Aubrey that are kicking field goals.
That's what I'm saying. You want to find a team that is consistent at driving,
Yeah,
but not consistent at getting in the end zone.
but I don't think I can give you a good answer to your tricks and trips or your tricks and tips because I'm waiting for your guys' response because I need help.
No,
you know,
I will say, and you guys know this because I'm doing it in both leagues consistently, all 3 for us. You have to be active on waiver wire. You can't be scared to drop someone if you see a matchup that you can't pass up. I just picked up Juwan Jennings, and I know he's only going to be maybe a 2-week play.
Yeah.
You have to be active. You have to take chances. Change guys out. Don't just stick with someone because they've been a staple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin, what do you got, man?
I mean, I think as far as I think kickers, it's more random. That's why in fantasy drafts, I usually pick them last because there are some stalwarts like Aubrey, I think, has become one. Boswell has been pretty steady over the years. But I think who's the Bengals kicker? McPherson.
McPherson, yeah.
I mean, he was like stellar in fantasy maybe last year, and this year he's missing kicks that he should be.
But here's the thing about McPherson. I watched him miss 5 in a game when I went to the Bengals Packers.
Yeah, that was rough to watch.
So he's always missed a lot of kicks, but he always makes the big kicks.
He wants to count.
It's when he misses.
That's good. Yeah, the ones that count. Yeah.
He misses them in a span, and then he's lights out.
Yeah. So, but Justin, I want you to answer your own question.
So I guess like I'm looking at my fantasy league right now, who the top kickers are. I mean, you have Brandon Aubrey, so Dallas, who drives the ball a ton, can't get in the end zone. Chris Boswell, Pittsburgh, drives the ball, doesn't score a lot of touchdowns. Fairborn from Houston. I mean, I think that could be a mix of not scoring, not always getting into the end zone, but they're constantly down there, whether they're making extra points or field goals. San Fran, Jake Moody is up there. I mean, San Fran is kicking a lot of field goals. So
right.
It's just like there are teams that consistently get into field goal range. And then once you get down to that red zone area, it's harder on offenses because the defense isn't as spread out.
Right.
And it's easier for the defense to stop you.
You guys are stressing me out.
So yeah. To Megan,
your points are good.
For Megan, she said for the kicker, you pick a team that sucks at scoring touchdowns. Maybe, yeah,
kind of, yeah.
You just want to make sure that they don't suck so bad they can't move the ball and they have a bunch of 3 and out.
Well, you just say Chris Boswell. I think that's a good. Like he's going to have a lot of 40-yarders. He's going to have a lot of 35 to 45 yarders because they're not getting the ball in the end zone all the time.
Yeah,
but they're kicking a lot of field goals.
Right, but that's
they're putting up points.
That's not always the case either, because right now Blake Group's number 4 kicker in fantasy.
No, I was just saying Chris Boswell is definitely a good kicker.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying you can't just go by a team that doesn't score a lot of touchdowns because the Saints are on fire. They're scoring a shit ton of touchdowns.
How about
and Blake Group's number 4 in fantasy because of it.
Right.
So I was going to say
but they're also under 50 yards a lot.
They're
either scoring. Here's the thing: they're either scoring a shit ton of touchdowns or kicking field goals.
For sure,
they're putting up a lot of points, so they're getting a lot of. But the Steelers aren't doing that.
Nope.
Their kickers putting up 35 plus kicks quite often.
So and Group is available on my fantasy league. Narvison from the Packers is available on there. He's the 6th ranked kicker. He's had at least 3 attempts every week this season.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's getting more comfortable.
So, I mean, that's one you could go pick up. You want consistency. I mean,
yeah, that's exactly right.
The Broncos, Will Lutz, I mean, he scored, I think, maybe 2 touchdowns on the season, maybe. But he's got 3 for 3, 2 for 2, and 4 for 4 on field goals. So, teams like that, where they're driving the ball, they're just not getting it in every time.
Well, I tried that with Santos from Chicago, and he's just underperformed. So I dropped him for Group.
So one of my biggest questions that I have as a loser this week, what are some picks this week that you think like that could be on the free agency? Dylan, you just said free agency is big. Make a pick.
The waiver wire.
Yeah, the waiver wire. Take a pick. Take a chance. Justin, I want you to kind of start this off for us. What, like, you know, we're obviously we started a little later, so I'm not too worried. But like, I don't want to. I want to wrap it up sooner than later. But Justin, what is a good pick this week that you could think of that could be on most people's waiver wire?
Are we talking any position?
Oh yeah, I mean somebody that can make a difference, man.
Okay.
In general.
Do you want to go first, Dylan?
I said you, Justin.
Can I make my pickup before?
I'll go first. How about that?
Before I go,
I still say Carson Steele. I still think that
he's out there for sure. He shouldn't be on waivers.
You don't think so?
I mean, after last week's waivers,
because he was on all of my waivers except for the one league that I had him in.
This week or last?
This week.
Okay, that's surprising. But I mean, yeah, if he's out there for sure, go get him.
Even though a lot of people are going to say, "Well, they picked up Hunt." Yeah, so did the Browns last year, and he did nothing. So I
Steele's getting the touches.
Exactly. So I think he's a big guy, so I think you're going to see a lot of his touches in the goal line. So he's going to try to and he had those options this week. He just didn't produce. So that's mine. Are you guys Googling right now? Is that what's happening?
I have mine.
No, go ahead, I'm actually actively on the waiver wire.
Okay. So I don't know what the roster percentage is for this player, but I know he's been available on quite a few of my waivers recently. Khalil Shakir. Ooh. I mean, he shouldn't be on waivers. Khalil Shakir isn't. I mean, he's not blowing up like a wide receiver 1 necessarily, but he's getting a majority of the targets from Josh Allen, and that offense is rolling. So
that's a good one.
He's the go-to receiver in that offense.
I hate to say this to you, but I'm going on waivers right now. Justin, I'm being honest here, dude. Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
So Dylan, do you have one?
Yeah, I do. He's probably available in a shit ton of leagues, which I don't understand since you have an IR spot. I just picked up TJ Hawkinson, dropped Trey Benson, fixed that with Chase Brown that's starting to get more carries, and moved.
I'm not asking for all your moves. I'm asking you for one guy.
TJ Hawkinson.
TJ Hawkinson. Okay.
You can pick him up and put him on your IR and add another player.
Yeah.
For sure. If you have IR,
I'm waiting for Brooks to come off mine.
Dude, I think it's going to be sweet when he does.
Yeah, but he's going to take a couple weeks to even be relevant. You know this.
looking at Khalil Shakir, he had 3 receptions on 3 targets for 42 yards and a touchdown.
I love it, Justin. That's my favorite one. That
554 and then 6 for 72 and a touchdown.
Why am I not finding him? Oh, we'll figure that out after this.
Okay.
I need your guys' help after this. I'm not trying to go 0-5 again.
Which league?
All of them. let me just correct myself. All of them. All of them. I'm gonna have both of you look at it. So, But guys, listen. Fantasy football can be stressful. It's fun. Don't forget, it's just all in fun, even when you have a ton of money in it. It's just for fun, right, boys? Boys, it's just for fun, right? We've got a lot of people listening. Is no one going to fucking answer? Or we exit out of here?
You say it.
Yeah, because I went 0 for 5. 0 for
You're
5.
not doing it to win money. You're doing it for fun.
Every league I lost, I have money in. I'm done with it. I'm tired of it.
Oh, man. Chris saw a tier. Was there a tier?
Listen, I want to tell you guys something. Every draft that I have, I've got this 13 pages of like draft pick order. And this year I hit them all, right? I'm like, dude, I'm going to win every league. I'm going to win every league. No.
Yeah.
No leagues. Anthony winning no leagues. So
Man, that's the thing about fantasy is it's so unpredictable. Like you can think that you're going to know how things turn out, but I mean, people get hurt. Offenses and defenses play worse or better than you.
But you, Justin, the problem is you have to be able to adjust.
Yes.
And it's hard for me because I have a football mindset. I don't have a fantasy football mindset. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look, Tom Brady. Let's talk about Tom. How many times did he throw over 30 touchdowns? Not very often. How many times was he double digits in interceptions? Quite a bit.
He wasn't a great fantasy quarterback.
That's my point. That's my point.
Patrick Mahomes is turning into Tom Brady of fantasy football.
But my problem is like I can't switch that switch off for fantasy football.
Yeah. And yeah, no, your league is not one at the draft.
They said you spelled stirred wrong again. Everyone, it doesn't have an E at the end. No E. No E, damn it. I love
mean,
it.
It could.
Sturge needs some candy.
I have questions.
What are your questions?
Who the fuck is Scott Matlock?
I saw him too on there. He's like a D tackle and
a running back.
How do you not know who that is?
He's listed as a defensive
tackle.
How do you not know who that is?
Dude, he has dual eligibility as a defensive tackle and running back.
Okay. I'm
I
done
saw
with you
that
guys.
too. Sorry.
I'm done with you guys.
Would you like to tell us?
No.
Okay. I'll go look it up later.
Shut up. I'm trying now.
Well, apparently you don't know who it is.
You said Matlock?
Yeah.
It doesn't even come up.
It's not worth
I just Googled Matlock. It didn't come up.
He's not relevant.
Hey, he's relevant. He's the #1 position rank in the position of defensive tackle and running back.
Please go start him this week in your league.
I literally looked it up. It says Matlock Dewart Valley Lions Club. Clearly not relevant. By the way, Justin, we can sign off now, but we have the most listeners than we ever do.
That's awesome, man.
So I don't know if we keep rolling out. Right now, well, we have 11 on YouTube and 13 on Facebook.
I mean, that's up to you.
Because I'm following on Facebook right now.
I see we're at about an hour.
But, but can I just say this? My name doesn't have an E on the end. I'm tired of it, Justin. What do you do at that point?
Technically, your name is Sturge EON, so there is a
that's fuck you up, boy.
Feedback.
So sick of your attitude. You make me want to drink.
I'm pretty sure
good thing you're full over there.
So, boys, you're saying here. Can I add something to the fantasy aspect of things?
Please.
Don't give up on what you're doing. You may have injuries. You may have this. Sometimes you might have to go through a 3 or 4 week thing. But most of you are in a 12-team thing. 6 of you are going to go to the playoffs. It's okay. It's okay to have 3 weeks, 4 weeks of bad. When your people come back, when McCaffrey, if he comes back, Brooks comes back, you have these guys, Tua comes back, you're going to see difference. So stick with the plan, but really listen to what these boys are saying. They know more than I do. I'm just here to host the damn thing.
Well, and that's what makes the waiver wire so relevant. Like,
Exactly.
I am constantly picking up and dropping people all week long, every week, because I want my bench to always have the best players I can possibly have on it. My IR spots are always full if I have IR spots. But like, I'm constantly listening to updates. I mean, there's some weeks where waivers have already ran and you get an update about like the Christian McCaffrey week. That was the day of the game. They're like, hey, Jordan Mason's starting. He was on people's waivers. And if you're the one that went and picked him up, you probably won your league that week. And then you have a running back that's going to be a top 10 back until Christian McCaffrey comes back, which we don't know when that is because Christian McCaffrey is in Germany right now trying to figure out what's wrong with his Achilles.
Right.
So like, definitely, you definitely have to scourge the waiver report or waiver wire, and that's how you stay competitive in your leagues, especially when you have injuries. And I mean, and until you are literally mathematically eliminated from playoffs, don't give up.
And with that being said, you have to go through, like, you may have to go through some growing pains.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You might have to go through some weeks that are rough, and that's why I'm bad at fantasy, because I can't do that. So I'm always unloaded. Like, people are like, "Why the fuck did you let that guy go?" I'm like, "Well, he's out for 2 weeks." What do we got here? What's this question here, boys?
Dynasty half PPR full for tight ends. SF 12 teams start 10. Lineup is Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Kyron Williams, Brian Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Jake Ferguson, Puka Nacua, DK Metcalf, and T. Higgins. Kicker is Aubrey from the Cowboys. And then he has individual defensive players. So he has Hutchinson, Xavier McKinney. I'm not sure who Bain is. Franklin, Jones, and Cross.
How many IDPs do you start? Because your first two on the list, you're not sitting.
No.
I mean,
then he says, I traded my first and second in 20. So he's, second in 2025. Is there any?
So this is a dynasty league? Yeah, dynasty. Okay,
Yeah.
there's really not much, in my opinion, there's not much you need to do. You're pretty young across the board. You're set up pretty well. So I would just stand pat with that, in my opinion.
I mean, depending on how many defensive players people can roster, like, I probably wouldn't worry too much about picking up defensive players in Dynasty unless there's some that just pop out and shouldn't be on waivers.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as your starting roster, like,
he's got a good lineup.
I don't know what you would need to add to that. I do see that you have no first and second round pick next year. But like Dylan said, I mean, your lineup's pretty young, so I don't think you have to worry about too many aging out players. And I think most of your players are in a good spot to be relevant moving forward.
Who's Cross? He says he has Jones and Cross at the end. Who's
Those
Cross?
are all defensive players. I'm not sure by last names.
Yeah, because there's a lot of defensive players.
Yeah.
So that you can do a defensive.
You can do individual defensive players.
That'd be badass,
dude. It gets rough. You think offense is rough? Start adding defense, and you're just hectic.
And it depends too on the scoring, because I mean, depending on the scoring, there's so much variance to defensive players that
I like it though.
You can have players that do nothing one week, and then they're the best defensive
but I
player
still like it
next week, and they're on waivers.
But I like it.
Sturge would break his phone every week. Like, what the fuck?
He would start all the big name players and be like, why the hell did Aaron
What
Donald
do
only
you
get 7
mean,
points?
bro? Malik sucks. Field sucks. You suck. I mean,
I think Aaron Donald's was one of the, because when I played IDP, like,
let's just forget about those comments.
Names, but like Aaron Donald on the league I played in, Aaron Donald wasn't relevant for a defensive player just because he didn't get a lot of.
I'm picking dude. I'm going so hard on defense if I do a league like this.
But you only start a certain amount of defensive players,
and I'm doing it. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm gonna, after we get off this, I'm starting one.
You could probably go join one for free on Sleeper.
I'm free for what? But I got to make some fucking money. I'm losing all my games.
You're probably gonna lose
All
more.
my games. I need a $50 league to just recoup after this year. So don't start your shit, Marlon.
Don't put 50 in a league that you don't
I
know
have
how
to.
manage.
I have to. I told my wife I've got all the leagues this year. I ain't got one. I ain't got one league this year. I'm done.
So if you
Next year, when you here goes Anthony's rant. Next year, when you guys ask, do you want to be part of my fantasy football league? Fuck you guys. Do you understand?
Didn't
I've been
Dylan
in
help you
Justin's
draft
basket.
yours?
Well, this one that I'm in Justin's. I've been in this shit for 10 years. I've never won it. I've never been top 3.
but do you have fun?
No, absolutely not.
That's
Miserable. I'm miserable. What is that?
That's my team in my league that I'm 3-0 in.
Good for you. I hope you fucking lose. I hope you lose, bro. I'm irrelevant in every league I'm in every year.
Didn't you send
And
us
I'm in a
panic?
fantasy football podcast. Don't take my shit. Don't ever take my opinion.
This is bad advertising, Anthony.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At least I'm honest. I'm not good at it.
So hold on.
I'm tired of losing all the fucking time.
Are you saying it's bad that he's telling people not to listen to him? He's
Listen to you guys.
That's
Don't
probably a
listen
good
to
thing.
me.
That's probably a
like
good thing.
he's being
Listen, it's you guys are welcome.
That's
Let's
like a
pick up.
PSA.
Let's pick a person this week. Big Surge, you go first. I say my person. You don't listen to that one. You drop them. And you listen to those guys. You don't listen to me.
How's Noah Fant doing?
you just had to go there.
I'm
How's the
sorry.
1 and 2 Broncos going? How's Malik Willis doing?
I mean, we looked good this past week, so we'll see how it turns out.
Against the Bucks.
They did have some defensive plays.
Again.
Hey,
But don't listen to Big Sturge. I know a lot about things, man. I know a lot about
I
these
told
things and
you-
those things, but not these things.
I did trash Malik. I did. And I told you that he looked good this year. I take it back. And I also said that I think the Packers are a well put together organization. I think their coach
Always
puts
are.
their players in a position to succeed no matter
Always.
who's out there. The defense is great. I mean, that team is well built. It's well coached. Like, I think Malik Willis is put in a good position. I also think
Fantasy.
I think I talked trash about Jordan Love too, and I came back and
Last year, yeah.
I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, I'm okay with being wrong. It's fine.
I'm not okay with it.
Sturge, hold on.
Justin Fields this year, like, this is my apology tour right here, and you're missing it because you're throwing a tantrum.
No, I'm not missing a fucking thing. Justin Fields, what, bud? Just finish your sentence. Let me throw a fit while you just finish your.
I
What
did
about
trash
Justin Fields?
I said Russell Wilson was going to start. I do think that Justin Fields got the start because Russell Wilson was injured. However, I think that Justin Fields has kept the job because Justin Fields has won games. They're 3-0.
Mhm.
He's playing well with that roster. Mike Tomlin is one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game of football. And once again, that is an organization that always has a winning season, and Fields is in a position to succeed.
He just bit the bullet on everything he's told us.
I mean, I will own when I'm wrong. I'll spit my opinion. I will own when my opinion's wrong. That's why it's an opinion.
But
not
Sturge,
You
fact.
sound like Lil Wayne for a second.
Hold on. I just wanted to let you know, Sturge, you're not done. In American Whiskey League, you still have a 9% chance to make the playoffs.
You know what? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, dude. Are you shitting me right now? You're son of a bitch. Are you real? Justin, am I allowed to respond?
It depends on what your response is. Can we filter it first before you give it?
Mother,
Okay.
you can yourself and take it in the.
Megan said Sturge without an E. That we still love you anyways.
Hey,
You can take a big stick in the,
in
and then
my league, you have a 19% chance.
What about my league?
You have to look. I don't,
your league.
Aren't you 2-1 in my league?
Yeah,
You are.
I am.
You're
That's the
2-1.
only fucking one. I'm 2-1.
You have 62%.
I'm 0-3 in every
Big bucks.
motherfucking league
No,
I'm
you're
in. But
not. You're 1-2 in mine.
you guys are really pushing me.
We're 3 weeks in. This is like
It can
way too early.
change.
Facts of shit. I'm done with Both of you.
Okay. Well,
Listen,
you also said we were going to help you after this was over. Take a look
I
at
do
the
need some help if you guys want to help.
I already
okay.
sent you a text that you did.
You mother. Take this and
That 9%
Shit.
chance probably just jumped to 10.
you're such a. We are no fantasy footballers. But you know what's interesting? Every week we get new people that.
So
Shut the fuck up, Christopher.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm serious about that. I am sick. You son of a bitches. Are you really shitting me right now?
No, I looked it up.
9%'s terrible.
You're 0-3.
You mother.
Didn't you say you wanted a fan to win?
Not right now, I don't. Damn it. You know what's worse than Zoom? Fantasy fucking football.
This is the wrong podcast for
Yeah.
that.
You can take this stick and shove it in your ass.
Well, thank you.
Both of you. I'm so bad at fantasy football. I've literally thought about cheerleading. Like doing a cheerleading football. Like, do they do cheerleader from the NFL? Do they do like a fancy thing? Who has the hottest cheerleaders?
That's probably more of a poll.
I don't think so.
Jason said that he's doing worse than you.
Is he? Can you double check that? Am I not the one? What is that face? You son of a bitch. What is that face
I
for?
think he's making that up.
Did he make that up?
He did.
Am I in last place? Am I dead last? Am I dead last in points?
He has 382.4 points scored. You have 346.
There's always next year. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You should come back to us, Anthony. Come back to us.
He's terrible at fantasy. He's the worst.
Wait, I lied. He has 302 points scored. You have 270.
Were you looking at points against Dylan? Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Justin, there's a league. I scored 203.
Look
points
at
this
my
week.
injuries. Look at my injuries.
Bro, I'm missing like Pacheco, AJ Brown, and
You can fuck yourselves.
My leagues.
Justin's like, why can't we put this episode up? Because you guys want to bring up my shitty teams all the time.
Chris said you're gaining ground. There's optimism.
No, in your defense,
What does that mean?
in your defense, Christian McCaffrey killed you at the beginning of this year.
Fuck you.
So you're saying that he should have picked up Jordan Mason?
He was already picked up.
Video is coming down as we speak. I think it may be time to wrap this up, boys.
I don't know. I'm having fun over here.
I think we've lost Anthony. He's gone on a
I need a hammer.
I don't think you do. I think it's a terrible.
Well,
idea.
anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in to American Whiskey. You know what? Fuck you for bringing my shit up, dude. You're bringing up my league.
You
I'm
ass.
not that bad.
This episode is
You ass.
PG-13.
Is that how many points did I have?
275.
That's so bad. How many is that a week? 70?
Your desk is injured now.
Oh, I'm glad you're getting a fucking kick out of it, Marlon.
Did you see the comment?
You guys can go fuck yourselves. I'm sick of this. I'm done. Oh, don't ask me to do another fantasy league.
What's the squirrel? What is that? Am I missing something here?
I don't know what that
What
means.
the fuck's a squirrel?
From Josh?
I don't know what that means, dude.
Okay, that one's missed on me.
Me too. Fuck.
Wait.
Squirrel.
Oh, never mind. There's no squirrel there. Okay, should we sign off?
Probably.
Okay. that sounds
Before
like
I
a good
break
idea.
something.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. I'm Big Surge.
I'm Justice League.
Justin,
I
thanks
hope
for
you have
hanging
a
in
great.
there.
I hope you guys have a great night. I hope everyone's safe and has a great night.
And stay tuned. We will post. Hopefully, we will post a bet for Thursday Night Football.
Yes, sir.
I hope you guys just have a great night. I hope you enjoy yourselves in your beautiful winning leagues. We are
The cheesy
Cheesy
ponies.
Dicks.